And it is another edition of Hoops Adjacent on the Athletic NBA show. David Aldridge in D.C., Marcus in the Bay. Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s new press secretary, Marcus Thompson's with us.
That's hilarious.
It's all good. It's all good. I get it.
I'll be his CJ Craig. Let's go.
You know, exactly. The fabulous Michelle Beadle is with us again.
Oh man, what's up, guys? What a week! What a time to be alive.
Hey, I have a story I always wanted to tell Michelle.
Oh God,
she ain't old enough to remember this, but
I doubt it.
In the late 80s, early 90s, remember when starter jackets was all the rage?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So we could not, like in our day, we could not get a Raider starter jacket. It was the one that was banned because it was like, gang affiliated, right?
Right.
So I threw a curveball because I wanted a black starter jacket. And I got a Spurs one. And I was like the man in the hood because I had a Spurs. Like I was the one dude who had a black starter jacket and everybody had the Kings. Because for some reason you couldn't wear Raiders, even though the LA Kings, same colors.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Spurs had the little, the pink, the pastel logo with the big spur in the back. And everybody was like, oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
It was so tight. I got robbed for it.
What?
Shut up.
At the Coliseum BART station.
Spurs jacket?
Took my Spurs,
I get it.
My Spurs starter jacket. The worst part is I was playing AAU basketball and we were selling, crab feed dinners for a trip we were going on.
Right.
And I had my crab feed ticket sales money in my pocket.
No.
Yes. So
damn it. Spurs are so cool that all of this is a bad story. By the way, I still have a starter jacket and a Fiesta version of Spurs. And I had a Charlotte one back in the day, but that was because we all just love the colors of it.
Oh, the teal.
That was that, yeah.
Alexander Julian.
That was a good one.
My question though is, any chance you were at the Coliseum BART station in 91? Because I'm telling you,
technically, I could have been old enough to do it.
It's a very familiar face.
16 years old is prime time.
She was the stall. She was the stall, and then the hook came and got you.
Man, I wish. That's a good jacket. Somebody out there has it. So it's worth a lot now, maybe.
Damn.
It will be.
All right, Beadle. As long as you're not a felon, we'll continue with
I'm just making sure it wasn't, you set me up.
Could have said, he's going to be at the station in 20 minutes.
No, I feel like if I'm going to steal, not that I'm incriminating myself, but I'm going big. I'm a straight money, straight cash, all of the cash.
Hey, it was $78 in the
They were trying to get to Pacoima. They couldn't get to Pacoima. They were trying hard.
Oh man, that sucks. That does suck.
But Beadle, you're excited because your Spurs. It's all love now. The Spurs are back, baby.
It's crazy. Like I know Thursday, like the draft it's the worst kept secret in the history. Although there's this part of me that has these sort of awake dreams where I'm just like, what if they just decided to throw everyone for a loop and they pick Scoot or they pick Miller, which can you imagine? Like the whole world would crumble. There are billboards around town, some of them not great. There are menu items being made. There are coffee shops renaming things. Like it's Wemby fever all over the place here. So it's just sort of like, let's just get this show on the road. Let's go.
I was thinking, what would happen if the Spurs said, all right, number 1 pick's available? Like, what would the offers be?
What would they be? Like, would they give up? Yeah, what would they give up? Would they give up Steph Curry, start over? Like,
probably everything's on the table. I'm just saying, like, hold on.
I wish we could simulate it.
Did this. I asked people this last year when after the games in Vegas when he killed it. So I asked a bunch of NBA people, is there anybody in the league you would not trade for Victor Wembanyama right now? And the only answer I got was Evan Mobley. That was it. The guy said, if I had Evan, and he wasn't with the Cavaliers. He said, but if I had Evan Mobley, I would not trade Evan Mobley for Victor. Because I think Evan Mobley's going.
I'm adding Joker to the list.
Yeah. That's yeah. It's funny how quickly we forget. It's only been 3 days since the trade. We're like, oh yeah, right.
Oh yeah, right. The MVP.
No, you're right. Mobley is that's not the answer I would have expected to hear, especially from a guy who's not even with the team.
Right.
I don't know. There's so much upside and there's so much down. Yeah.
Giannis is 27?
Like late, right? Yeah.
I had Giannis
28?
on the list. I'm putting Giannis on the list too.
Because
Look
Giannis
at-
we're pretty sure we know what we got here. Like we're good.
Yeah.
Wemby's
yeah.
still,
And he's still
there's some
young
unknown.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
young enough. And he may leave Milwaukee one day, and that's going to be a
Plus
sexy turn.
the physical, it's not it's not that I think he's going to get hurt. All I'm saying is that guys that look like him have gotten hurt in the NBA.
Yep.
And you wonder about that body type. Somebody put it to me this way. They said, Victor's not a big man, he's a tall man. And said, Chet Holmgren's not a big man, he's a tall man. You know, and there's a difference in terms of the especially the lower body injuries. And I just, you know, that that's got to be baked into this when you think about how good he can be, because his body type does not translate to the NBA, or it hasn't.
No, and it's the cynical side. I mean, because I don't want to be the one that rains on the parade, right? Like everyone's so excited, and I 100% get it. And I find myself watching the envelopes being opened on lottery night, and I was as excited as the next person. I lost it.
Where were you?
I was in my hotel room in LA. And I was sweating and like I had tears of happiness. I put my Spurs hat on, walk around town. People were like, "Congratulations!" Like we'd won something, and I was just going, "Thank you, yes, thank you."
Whoa! We're not about to act like you are some poverty franchise.
Right. We are.
You're the Kings or the Wizards.
It's been 9 years. It's been 9 years.
Get out of here with this. Oh, this is our moment.
Oh, I can barely remember the 5th championship. You know,
it was so long ago. Like
it feels like forever when you're used to it every year. So but I am nervous because, you know, when Chet Holmgren became Chet Holmgren that we all were familiar with and aware of, I thought, oh, I don't know about this body type. And then now here comes Wemby, who's even taller.
Right.
When the legs look like arms, I get worried. Yeah. And rightfully so, because bones snap.
Such a bar.
Like it's
right.
It's such a bar.
Like it's because I rewatched some of that Chet stuff from last season before he got hurt, and I forgot just how thin he really is. And so I'll be curious. I know there are all the jokes about, you know, Wemby getting here and he's going to start eating some good Tex-Mex and we're going to fill him up with breakfast tacos and it's going to be all right. But there's a healthy way to do it, and it's going to take some time. Well,
they have that like Colossus facility that they're building down there. Like,
yes,
right?
That is like it's an entire campus basically that is aimed at studying, learning, and benefiting the human experience, the body, the brain, everything. It's a very sort of scientific, feel good space, and I can't wait. I mean, it's really close to my house, which I'm like, oh, that was convenient.
Right.
And it's going to have everything, so it almost feels like this miracle place. But yeah, I think that's going to be a big concentration for incoming Spurs and staff, and not just people related to the team, like around the world, people will be coming in, which is crazy to me.
Wow.
So I hate thinking about like potential injury for people.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I thought you were gonna say I hate thinking about the Spurs going on another run. I was like, I know, I get it.
No,
I get
it. It's coming. The thing that I was thinking about, especially watching Denver win a championship, is the idea of Wemby kind of before the Jokic takeover was like, this was the Steph Curry league, right? Spread out, space, shoot a lot of threes. But it feels like we might be, you know, transitioning to a league where like, yo, you got to have a big man. You got to have a center. You got to dump the ball. And I'm curious, do you think like his game, his body type is something where eventually he'll be like a center, or do they need to put a bruiser next to him, you know, and he plays 4 because he can obviously stretch it. It's almost like a stretch 4. Like, how do you see that working out in this Jokic era?
That's true. It is crazy that we might be going back to sort of a time that I loved. And you know what's weird about last season? Obviously, we all knew the odds and whether or not the Spurs would have the number 1 pick or not, but they were going to have a pick, and it was going to be a decent pick. And before the season was really even over, I remember Pop came out and said Zach Collins is our starting center moving forward, and I was like, why would you offer that information, right? You don't have to. You don't have to make any kind of commitment. You don't have to say anything. And Zach sort of, not by any means is he a big giant bruiser, but he definitely is our toughest guy. And
he's a goon. He's
right,
got
like
that
he'll,
little hair.
yeah, he's got that
one
like
hair. Like
if he was in a movie, we would all hate him. Like he'd be the bad guy. And so
put him in some black boots, right, in the elevator. It's over.
Oh
like,
yeah,
right?
no, that's actually terrifying. And I think maybe that will be the plan, is to sort of have him be in there to take some of the brunt, because guys are going to be going. I mean, there has never, maybe the exception of LeBron, been this kind of hype parade for a kid. Like he is a child coming into this mess, and so it's going to have a huge target on his back. And no matter how much he's smiling now and having fun, these are going to be the best days, because moving forward, it's about to get really tough for young Victor. So yeah, I could see that being a thing where oddly enough, they don't look the parts, but he would be the 4.
Yeah.
And that might have to be that way.
I could see that for sure. Yeah. You mentioned it. I mean, you said the town's going crazy, and I just wonder, like, how does it compare to, because, Timmy never said anything, but he did those cheesy HEB commercials.
Those are the best still to this day.
So cheesy. But he did them out of good. I had fun with him. But how does it compare to peak Duncan?
Oof. It's hard to, like, I remember when Duncan came here, and it's still a sort of a laughing point amongst the team and the staff, is that they had this welcome party, and that is the exact opposite of what Tim Duncan ever would want. So to come to a new place and then sort of be put in the spotlight and like, welcome. Whereas I think this guy is a lot more well equipped to sort of handle it. He gets it. I mean, he landed at Newark Airport, and there's just waiting. Yeah. So I think there will be, and it's been a minute, right? Since we've, Jeremy Sohan was number 9 last year. That's still, nobody's sneezing at that, but this is crazy. This is a different level of hype. The national news is now all of a sudden going to be around again. They're going to, who knows? We might get some national games, like
back to Boudreaux's, right?
Baby. It's been a desert out here. So just like, I think it's going to, and I think I heard that they're going to do something kind of similar, like just to welcome him into the city. Now, I don't know if it's going to be at the Riverwalk or whatever the hell it was for Timmy, but it's something. It's only 115 degrees too. So he's really walking into one hell of a welcome wagon. But yeah, it's sweltering. It is sweltering. So I think he's more equipped. I also just think 19-year-olds today are more equipped because of these contraptions and the 900 versions of social media. And just, he's got his family around him. I think he's going to be okay, but it is going to take, I would think, as a 19-year-old, a minute to get used to this, because this is great. It's crazy.
It's a small world after all, right? I need your thoughts on what French Mex will look like.
Ooh, right? I know. I mean, by the way, can we just talk about how you couldn't script this? And Tony Parker, being a Spurs legend, still has his compound out here. The idea that you have him to sort of be your mentor and guide you through this, it's just, you cannot. And I know that Wembanyama on the night of was like, his family was rooting for him to come here because they thought it was best ready. I mean, it's been done. Tony did it on a much, much smaller scale coming in, because nobody had a damn clue who Tony Parker was. Now we do. And so, yeah, I think French Mex it's going to be delicious. Talk about 2 heavy ass foods, combining them together. I mean, you're going to, you're going to need to stay home afterwards. It's not like first date food, but she's just gonna stay in and enjoy it.
Not for the lactose intolerant.
Oh my God.
Today's show is brought to you by Front Door. Download the Front Door app and get a free video chat. We all have that long, incredibly nagging home to-do list that we keep putting off. It's full of annoying stuff that just needs to be fixed. A dripping dishwasher, hole in the drywall, or maybe your dryer is not actually drying your clothes. Well, wouldn't it feel great to get all that done? Well, now you can, and it's easier than ever. Introducing Front Door, the all-new one-stop home repair and maintenance app. Front Door lets you video chat with experts in real time so you can diagnose the problem faster. Sometimes you can fix it yourself on the video chat, or Front Door will send you a list of vetted and trusted pros to come out and help solve the problem. With a Front Door membership, it's easy to cross things off your home to-do list and enjoy that feeling of done. Download the app now and get a free video chat with an expert to start solving your problems today.
So DA, I want your answer on this too. Like, what's Pop's plan? Like, he's 74. Is he just like, I'm gonna get you going and hand you off? Or is he about to be 90? Because Wemby's got 20-year career ahead of him. You can't do the whole I'm gonna ride you out. Like, what's the plan?
No, he's year to year. I think I always believed this before. I just thought it would take longer. His goal would be to get the Spurs right again. Not necessarily like they're going to win a championship, but they're a good team again. They're a playoff team or whatever. And then I'll hand it off. And again, whether I think it's Bud, but who knows who it'll be by then. It could be anybody, I guess. But, this accelerates that timeline. So instead of it taking 5 more years or 6 more years, it might take 2 more years, and in 3 years, in 2026 or 2027, he might be peace out. I'm just going to drink some wine now.
So you think he'll walk away from one of the great talents in the league?
I think Pop he's good. Pop's good. When he did that thing at the Riverwalk, where he did the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he was just iconic. That was his middle finger to everybody. He's like, yeah, I got all of you guys.
He's comfortable.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's good.
And I think he'll make that decision. And when he does, he will be good with it. Because he's 100%. That's the one that he's very true to himself, good, bad, and ugly, whether you like it or not. And so, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think, but I also genuinely think he is having a blast. And now this is happening.
Yeah.
You couldn't possibly leave at all. I mean,
I could be wrong. Like, you're right, Michelle. He could be with Vic for a year and go, God damn, this is fun. This kid is.
Because look at him with Jeremy Sohan. Like, he loves Jeremy Sohan. Like, it is a real sort of bond there. And it happened quickly. And so I feel like, yeah, there's a real good chance that I know that they're saying he's got a 3-year deal waiting for him when he's ready to sign the paperwork. And that starts whenever, I suppose. And so, yeah, you're right. I think RC's always joked that he doesn't expect an announcement. He expects a text one morning. I'm out. And then that's it.
Just like Duncan. Duncan just disappeared.
100%. That's it.
That text is now going to be after, like, he's going to watch one Wemby game, and that text is going to be the Wolf of Wall Street gift. Right. I ain't leaving, right?
Ever. You're going to have to fire me.
Right? I ain't leaving.
Oh, my God. I mean, there's so many ways you can utilize this dude, but I just wonder, like, what's the prime way to use a guy that Marcus, I'm going to write this for tomorrow. I think everybody's got the comp wrong. The comp is not Garnett. The comp is not Ralph Sampson. The comp is not LeBron. The comp is Shohei Ohtani. That's because Shohei Ohtani said, yeah, I'm going to pitch and hit. And everybody said, that's insane. You can't do that. And it's Major League Baseball. And he said, watch me. And he did. And so this guy's like, yeah, I'm going to block shots and hit threes and change the game. And everybody's like, you can't do that. It's the NBA. And he's going to go watch me, So
I like that.
He's going to do what Steph did. He's going to change the geometry.
Well, and Karl Anthony Towns, he also changed the game when it's all said and done. Don't forget, guys, show the man some respect.
Big man ever, baby.
When it's all said and done.
So he actually believed that celebration after they won the playing game. That was actually like meaningful to him.
Delusion is high in the air these days. It is. Wow. It is everywhere. It is all over. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Wembanyama is coming in like young enough and naive enough and good enough to not give a damn about whatever the expectations are and just do what he does, which happens to be a whole lot of everything, which is the best. I mean, that's the best skill set you could possibly have, not having a limit. It's amazing. Yeah. And it's what's going to make this whole thing exciting. And he's going to add to it. Again, 19, he's going to add, he's going to get better at all kinds of stuff along the way. And that's going to be fun to watch. I mean, just Jokic, the guys that are great are the ones that bring something new each season because they're not bored and they're not content yet. And I think that will be the true tell on what we have here. Man, I can't wait. I wish the season started next week.
So I was watching that French championship game when the Mets got cooked in the fourth quarter.
The Mets.
And swept. One of the things that was just wild to watch was how they just didn't get them the ball. Like they were just like, yo, I got this. This is my moment. Everybody's watching.
Right.
And it started making me think, is Trey Jones gonna be his point guard? Or do they need to go get like a point guard for the future star?
There are a lot of think
Nothing
pieces
against
on
Trey
that.
Jones.
No,
nothing
no.
against Trey Jones, but
Yeah,
he's
Trey's
the
been-
guy for the job.
And
Right,
he's been a great fit, and he's been a great spur, as they like to say. Like, he's sort of here and he's a part of the community and he wants to learn and be better. But you're right. I wonder if he's found himself in sort of a situation where he's going to get booted out simply because the talent level around him has just gotten that much more elevated. And I've seen so many. I mean, look, the one thing last week was when the idea that Chris Paul would come here. I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Chris Paul wants a ring. He doesn't want to come here and teach a kid how to be great for his future.
Right.
So I do wonder what the plan is. Because who would be available? Who would the Spurs trade? Who's on the table? Okay.
I got a guy.
Oh
Are you
God,
ready?
here we go. Here we go.
Kyrie.
No.
Boom.
Next
Whoa.
question. Dude,
And
last time, like, hell no. By the way, last time I
Is there a
checked,
more French attitude than Kyrie? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
ew, he would. I mean, the funny thing is I love watching Kyrie play, but I can't deal with all the rest of it. And who knows? Like, everyone always thinks that's the thing is I'm never going to be arrogant enough to be like, well, we'll change him. No, nobody's changing anybody. We are who we are. And so,
Right.
man, if you could get Kyrie the basketball only, wouldn't that be
I
something?
feel
to
like
watch?
you should have thought about it a little bit longer, though. Like, I feel like you didn't
Should
even.
have given it some more consideration.
You know what I'm
I'm like-
saying?
Because it could work.
Yeah, just edit it. Edit it to where it looks like I went like this.
Yeah, put
And
some
then I said-
Jeopardy music in there.
Right,
Like, make
right.
it look like you think it
Coulda worked.
Man, it doesn't even sound like anybody else wants him. Like, Dallas is stuck. That's one of the crazier stories to me. What happens there for how long? Oof.
That is a
Ugh.
train wreck.
Train
Train wreck.
Yep.
So what's the over under on number of national TV games that Vic will not appear in because of load management?
Damn. That's a great point. Like, realistically, do we think they get what? Like,
Oh,
4?
What do you talk? They get 26, whatever the max is. They get
They're
26.
not getting that many national
Absolutely.
games. No way.
Absolutely. Of
You
course
don't
they
think
do.
the networks are going to be apprehensive, already knowing Pop's ways, that he's
No.
not going to play half of those, or
Nope.
even maybe a quarter of those?
He's
Damn.
on 26. Get used to it.
0, but back to the
It's
top.
maxed. They already took all of Memphis's games away. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Great
Memphis,
point.
out,
Those are all
out,
available.
Out. Like,
Thanks,
you know,
Ja.
right, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
you're
saying?
right. Do they get a Christmas game, even as lousy as they may
Absolutely.
end up
Of
being?
course they get a
Oh
Christmas
my
game.
God,
Are you
what is
kidding?
happening right now?
Of course they get a Christmas
I don't
game.
even know what to do with any of this information. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's weird that the familiar faces will be back in town.
It's very
Um,
likely it will be LeBron and the Lakers coming to San Antonio for Christmas Day. Yeah,
Well,
no,
that
absolutely.
just got ruined. Thank you for
No,
Are
they
you
are
ready for
maxed.
the media, though? Are you ready for what you think it'll be turned up more than? I mean, the Spurs are already like the United Colors of Benetton.
Right?
We are
But,
so
like-
international.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's like, you know what I love? I love that Windhorst has been like one of the main Wemby guys. So I hope that means we get some more Brian Windhorst coverage here in town. Because you
Right.
know me, I don't like everybody. So everybody coming back here is not going to be great. I like most.
Beadle, I love you.
But I think
like
it's gonna be
me, you
crazy.
hold grudges. I like that.
For life. I still hold grudges teenage years. But I'll be curious.
Beetlejuice.
It's not healthy. But I'll be curious too, is like, man, is Wemby going to be available for media? Is he going to get shut down? Because if you notice, he's doing a lot of interviews right now.
Yes.
The next
yes.
48 hours. But then what? You
Right.
may never see him again. That's it.
Then the cone of silence
The
descends. And that.
Silence. Man. I get to talk to him once. I'll be happy. That's
yeah,
it.
no, they'll take care of you. You
Ugh.
know.
One would hope. I just want to stand next to the man, for God's sakes. Like,
He's,
what is
he's
that?
a tall one. He's a big one.
7'5". To live your life 7'5", to never be able
imagine?
to sneak into a place again has got to be a
imagine?
weird existence. No, I
Yeah.
can't.
I just want to be a fly on the wall for that meeting when Tom James sits him down and was like, "All right, man, you're doing this all wrong." Like,
Here's how we're gonna do this. You're gonna do nothing.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
right.
Oh,
He's
yeah, no.
walking into that. I wonder if he's been told. I would imagine Tony Parker's given him some pretty decent heads up on quite a few things. I'd have to believe.
When I was at the 4-letter network, I called the Spurs and I said, "Here's the deal. I want to do a story on Timmy. I don't want to interview Timmy at all. All I want to do is come to a practice and have a cameraman shoot Timmy's feet. That's all I want. And I want to do a story about Tim Duncan, his footwork. I don't want to interview him at all. I don't need to talk to him. I just need his feet for about 2 minutes."
That's how OnlyFans started, by the way.
That's right.
I don't need to even hear him speak.
That's exactly right.
I just need your feet.
Just need your
Wait,
feet.
and
No was the answer.
damn, not even the feet. Like
Just the
that's
feet.
crazy.
Just his feet. I just want to watch him do a drop step. That's all I need, and I'm.
I
good.
wish that conversation was recorded somewhere for us to just
Yeah.
listen to on a loop.
I was dumbstruck. I said, "You're not
I'd
going to
love
let me
give that
shoot
to
his
the
feet."
internet, see what they can make of it, right?
Holy oh yeah, no, we're never gonna see Wemby again. This is
That is-
brutal.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at Chime. Visit chime.com/NBA show for more information. Good money habits start with your very first paycheck. And if you just scored your first job, you got an opportunity to jumpstart a healthy financial journey. When you sign up for Chime and link a qualifying direct deposit, you get access to benefits like getting paid up to 2 days early and fee-free overdraft up to $200. And with Chime, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and no deposit required to become a member. So sign up for a Chime checking account today to link your paycheck. It only takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/NBA show. That's chime.com/NBA show. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depend on payer. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. See chime.com/spotme.
Can I
Give
look?
it to Moriah Mills for a day. And see what
Ooh, I'm addicted to that story.
That is so. It's so weird. That is
I
so
check
weird.
her. I check her
wanna
multiple
ask you
times
about
a day. Oh, I can't stop. First thing
I'm
I wake
not-
up this morning, Mariah Mills, the submarine thing. Those are the two things I
That
check
is
down
so-
immediately.
oh, the submarine thing is so sad.
I don't even
It's
know what to do with that.
horrendous.
Why?
Oh,
Why?
it's
Oh.
horrendous, and they've written them off already. Like, come on, you got to keep looking. Stop. What are you doing? Like, they
I
got
mean, they'll
error.
keep
I
looking,
feel like
but-
we've seen enough movies to know you got to keep looking, right?
gotta keep
Like, this
looking,
feels like
right?
a movie plot. Like, come on, They've
movie
done
plot
something to figure it out.
But you have so much money though that you're like, you know where I'd love to just throw $250,000 on getting into this pipe tube thing and plummeting down 3 miles into the ocean. Why in the world? When James
Oh my
Cameron
God.
spent his hard-earned money to give us the documentary that was the type, we're good. I
Yeah,
seen it.
exactly. We know what happened. It's not
Know
good.
exactly what it looks like down there. It's dark and it's creepy. Boom.
It's
Next.
very cold.
Oh, it's brutal. It's just all kinds.
So I got to ask you this: do people they still do that? They still have feet things on? Is that
Are
a
you
thing?
kidding me? They're
Is
making
it really?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Allegedly,
these
Larsa
days-
Pippen is making a ton from just her feet on OnlyFans.
These
Allegedly.
days, feet is light. That's
What?
that's
I'm
the
so
safe
old.
stuff.
I'm so out of everything.
I
This
don't
is
get
a-
it.
Wait
Feet
till
are
you
gross.
see the armpit fetish, DA.
Oh, where did
I
this
just
show
made that
take
up,
this
but I
turn?
bet
Oh,
it
that's right. I
exists.
did it.
I
Yeah,
bet it
you did
exists.
this. You did this.
Oh my God! All right, this is the adjacent part of
100%.
No. Seriously, Michelle, I'm giving you power of attorney for Zion Williamson for like the
Oof.
next 5 minutes. How do you handle this? Because she will not stop. What do you
She
do?
will not stop. Man, she's relentless. What I want to know is if I want to call her bluff. I'm assuming she does have tapes, right? Like it seems like
There's
this
no
is,
way she doesn't have tapes.
there's no
Right,
way she doesn't
right.
have tapes. And
her former
if we're
career
here,
was tapes.
and by the way, not former. She's back on it
Yeah.
as of yesterday.
Oh, she's back.
Yesterday,
Is that
she
right?
put a link and she was like, girls got to do what a girl's got to do. I was like, oh, respect.
Oh.
I can't even get mad at you for this. I don't even know what he can legally do if everything she's saying is valid, right? Like I'm not a lawyer, but other than it being annoying and a nuisance, what legality does he have behind him?
Well, who said
Yeah.
something about legal? I want to know the Beadle hustle. How would Beadle
She gonna
handle this?
disappear. Like, no, I mean, you have to think if you just let it play out, she'll give up eventually, or she'll have a new toy, or she'll something else. But every day I think this is it. We're done. I'll never hear from her again. And it starts the morning all up again. Hours and hours of
She
it.
knows how to command the news cycle, doesn't she?
It's insane. She's been trending for over 10 days now.
Yeah.
It's a talent.
I feel like Adam Silver might want to see that video.
Oh, I want to see the video. I mean, don't we all want to see the video? I'm watching the video. I've watched worse, put it that way. Like, so I'm in. I can't
Beadle,
wait.
You you know how to, you know this world. I don't know this world.
Oh, I
it's-
don't want to know this world, David. It's
I
just
know,
this
but-
world comes to me and then I jump into it. It's amazing.
This is your punishment for robbing me of my starter jacket.
That's exactly right.
It all
That's right.
comes back.
Now you exist in this world, baby.
Full
Now-
circle. That's right.
The world comes
Hey,
to us.
there
guys.
was no hesitation about whether she would watch the video. By the way, Dia, you
None.
beat that.
Right.
It was just like I'm
None.
watching it.
Everyone's watching it. It's just
I'm
who
in.
of us is going to tell the truth. That's all.
Who's gonna?
That's
I'm
all
in.
it is. Exactly.
I don't know. If,
I
don't
have a
know-
lot of
well,
questions about how things work, and I want to see
Right.
it. Like,
I just they're gonna if people start spitting though, I'm out. Like, I can't.
yeah, she
I
did
can't-
reference that, didn't she?
I can't, DA. I just
No.
cannot. My wife
not
is trained
my-
me. I'm a.
This is not my.
no, that's a
no.
Jeremy thing, and I'm with you on that.
Yes,
Disgusting.
my
she's like,
area of
No.
expertise.
There was a time in my life, Michelle, where I was like, whatever, it's just spit. But my wife has completely indoctrinated me. And then we
Yeah.
went through like a pandemic.
Right,
Like-
right. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
Now,
that's
if
true.
whatever we
Maybe-
were before, we're worse now.
Yes,
Or we're not,
maybe-
apparently.
Right.
All
All right.
Clearly. So yeah, once that
Good
happens,
Jason.
once I hear that, I'm like, yeah, we're
All right.
done
Let's
here.
try to
I'm
class
out.
this up a little bit.
What? All right.
All right, Beadle. What do you want to ask Victor? What is it you want to ask him? What's the question you want to know? What's on your mind?
I mean, it's just the basics are. I really want to just I want to observe him more than anything. I kind of want to do sort of what you said, but just watch him with everyone and in the wild, because it's going to be kind of crazy. And he's so young. I mean,
Yeah.
last year we did an interview with our 3 rookies and who were all 19 at the time. Nobody could drive or they didn't have a driver's license yet. It's like things like that you take for granted that you're just like, oh my God. You know, when you bring international youth in, it's a whole different set of circumstances. You know, his family coming, the food situation, where's he going to live? How does he get a bed? How does any of this work?
Yeah.
Like his
Well,
clothes,
it's all custom made. He's got to
But
get a custom made
everything-
bed, right?
like you have to.
Right.
It's
Custom made house, right?
custom made everything. A toilet, a normal
Yeah.
toilet height is not going to
No,
do
it
it.
doesn't work for him. Yeah.
I have so many just weird questions that no one's going to air, but I'm going to ask for my own personal, because I think his existence is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And then to come in with this kind of pressure, I think that's why him being observed, he's going to be so observed for the next season,
Yeah.
just quietly and not quietly. And it's going to be fun. I will be
Yeah.
staring at him a lot. Not creepy.
I'm sure he's used to that. I'm sure
But
he's used to
yeah.
that.
Can't-
But I'm sure
can't
that's why
help
I'm sure that's why the NBA fixed this so that they could get
it. Shut up. It was luck and karma. Good living.
Yes, it sure was. Love
Yes.
karma.
Thank
Absolutely.
So if you don't get the interview, what you should do
you. Mm.
is you should set up to get him to sit down with Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh,
I
my
feel like she was
gosh.
born in San Antonio, so I
There you
think she
go.
can get some
How about
answers out
that?
of him. That's all I'm
She's
saying.
she's almost too perfect and hard to look at too. I'm going to be observing her in a creepy
Exactly.
way. Like that's
Exactly.
gonna, that would be. I'd watch that. I would watch
Tell
that.
him to go to Dollar Bill's rental car. It was over. It used to be over by the arena. I don't know if it's still there, but it was like a
Dollar
hood dude.
Bills
Yeah,
Dollar
rental.
bills, dollar
You would rent out-
bills,
yeah,
Joe.
he had a bunch of old school souped up in his yard, and you could go rent a car.
That's
from him, but
amazing. I'm sure they were
Yeah, yeah.
perfectly past
It was like a
inspection.
lime green building, like he
There you
painted.
go.
Yeah, it was like dollar bills. Yeah.
By the way,
That's
what
where
kind
he
of
needs to get his
car do
first
you
car
get?
from.
Look, we have tall dudes in the NBA. Like Boban's
It was
not
like
tiny.
I saw a '68 Impala in there.
There you go.
It was yeah,
Deuce and
it
a
was
quarter.
like-
You got to get
Yeah,
a
yeah,
deuce.
now.
Deuce and- yeah, it was like it was some rides in there.
Yeah,
okay.
Go, yeah.
Well,
I
actually,
don't
now
know
I'm a
about
little
that
more
insurance
impressed.
policy though. I feel like the insurance policy was more along the lines of you wreck it, you bought it.
Right.
Yeah.
You best not mess this up.
Right, and you buy it for the value I've given it.
Yes.
Like, there's
don't come back here
there's
with
no
a scratch.
paperwork. No.
All right.
Today's show is brought to you by LinkedIn. Visit linkedin.com/NBA show 23 for more information. Are you struggling to close deals? You know, cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and the seller at every stage, especially when the sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales, and we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/NBA Show 23. That is linkedin.com/NBA Show 23 for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/NBA Show 23 and get started.
All right, so that we know who the posers and the front runners are. Who are the celebrities that went to games last year?
Ooh,
who are the real
okay.
fans?
Man, that's a good question. I know Selena Gomez has been to a few. We've had a couple DJs, but I'm too old. I never. Sean Elliott and I are always like, "Who is that?" Like they'll put them on the screen. We'll look them up on Instagram. They have 4 million followers. I'm like, I have no idea who that is. But like, it's just like, all right. Ryan Shazier, former Steeler, comes to because his wife's from here. So I learned that he's been coming to these. David Robinson's at every single game, which is my favorite thing in the whole way. By the way, yes, it does. He sits in the second row, and I find that fascinating.
He's not a fan. He's a former employee.
Yeah, kind of annoying. He's part owner. I learned that today.
Yeah.
But really, we haven't had. Now that I'm thinking about it, last year there weren't a ton of celebrities. So mostly anyone that shows up.
I was going to say, so we'll see A-Rod sitting courtside and go, "Come on."
Go. That's 100% for. Again, think of how many years it's been since the Spurs have been nationally recognized at all. So anyone who shows up is a front runner. And I will tweet it every time. Every media person who shows up.
When does Drake show up?
Oh, yeah, he's been quiet lately.
Good call. Good call. He's going to, this is his pivot, Marcus. This is the pivot.
This could be it.
Hey, he wasn't in Denver.
No, he wasn't.
Not in Denver.
Was he in Miami?
Lil Wayne was in Denver, right?
Lil Wayne, J. Cole.
That's right.
Yeah.
Obviously, Conor McGregor.
God.
No Jay-Z, Beyonce neither.
No Jay-Z.
No, but Beyonce's crushing the world right now. She doesn't have time for that.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Drake's been quiet. What's he up to? Something's going on.
The best collab. Here's who you got to get, San Antonio. You got to get Lay Twins. They're with Beyonce now. They're these two twin dancers from France who are incredible.
Really?
They're so good. Really? Beyonce put them on tour with them.
Men or women? Or both?
Boys.
Boys. Okay.
Two male.
I'm in.
They are incredible. They won like World of Dance a few years in a row.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay,
and they're from France. That's
all right. I'm gonna go look.
I bet you Wemby knows about him. I bet
he follows them on social.
No question about it.
Now I'm gonna have to go look. Thank you for another rabbit hole that I wasn't needing today to go down.
Listen, I promise you, I just cost you 7 hours.
At least I have so much research
down
to do.
The rabbit hole. I've been down the Lay Twins rabbit hole. It's like video after video of them like, yo, how do they do that? Yeah, they're incredible. They're incredible.
I thought you were talking about those Cavender girls. I was like, that's what we're calling them? I didn't even know that. Okay, no, that's good. This is good. Yeah. Lay Twins. I wrote it in my thing so I don't forget. Booyah.
That would be LES.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. They're cool.
Not LAY.
Oh, and they're cool looking. Oh, they're identical. They're okay.
Yeah. They move like they're identical.
They're like the Thompson twins.
Yeah.
They're
Larry and Laurent, and they're 2 million followers. Yeah. Oh, this is amazing.
How many followers?
2 million on Instagram. Damn.
They're literally on tour with Beyonce now. They're her dancers.
Oh my God.
That's the dream, isn't it?
2 million followers on Instagram. That's
and they're cool. They're like cool looking. All right. Thank you for my my new obsession. God, now I've got 3 things to be obsessed about today.
All right, Beadle. I'm so sorry we did this to you again, but always a pleasure to see you.
Are you kidding me? This has been the most fun I'll have today.
She does everything.
You
know where to find her.
She's gonna go down to Mariah Mills.
Well, if she gives us more gifts today, then that will be.
Do I want Mariah Mills in my search engine? That's what I'm leaving.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna be the only one. She's trending for a reason.
I'm doing research.
It's sports. It's hoops adjacent. That's the whole point. Doesn't get more.
Marcus, should we try to get Mariah Mills on this?
I was just
oh my God.
We need to get her on.
Wait, how come no one has yet?
For our last episode of Hoops.
That's a perfect way to go out.
Yeah, it's tough, man. You can imagine if you do it, Zion's never talking to you again.
No, I like Zion. I don't want to jam him up. He's a nice kid. I don't want to jam him up. What people do off the floor is none of my damn business.
No,
you know what I mean.
I'm not holding it against him. I'm just entertained by it.
Right.
It is what it is.
All right, Beadle. Enjoy Thursday. Have fun. Are you going to be? You'll be in the Tone, or you'll be up in New York? Which one are you?
Nope, I'm here. I'll be watching though, like everyone else, and then I think Saturday the goal is to sort of get to meet Wemby and maybe
The big
speak
fiesta.
words. Yeah.
Oh, you won't be at the arena. You won't be.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Well, he
No.
won't be there. He's going to be in
No.
New York.
Yeah.
He'll be in Brooklyn.
No, our
So what-
our welcome party, I think, is Saturday. I
Yeah,
believe
Saturday,
is the
gotcha.
plan. Yeah, nice and
Yeah.
hot. Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
oh,
It sucks.
man.
I mean, it's great. Welcome. You'll get used to it, they say.
It's a dry heat.
It's a try. Meanwhile, I'm sweating in my house.
It's a dry heat. That's hilarious.
All right, y'all.
Love you
leave
guys.
Leave the 5-star review, y'all, on Apple, on Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get this fine American podcast. Marcus, if they can't leave the 5 stars, what do they need to do?
Keep it to yourself, you haters. Or we're gonna make you sit in 115-degree heat with Michelle at the
In her
Wemby
stolen
parade.
starter jacket.
She got my starter jacket, bro.
I know she does back there in the box.
I'm never admitting.